Hi. A few months ago, I opened Godot with one goal: create my own game engine. Not a game, an actual tool that lets other people make games without writing code. At one point, projects refused to open. Android experts completely stopped working, and one small button somehow created several hundreds errors. But somehow, it actually works now. Before jumping into the development process, let me explain the idea. The project is called Clicker Game Maker, and the concept is pretty simple. You create a clicker game using a visual editor. You can change the interface, add levels, create upgrades, build a shop, customize currencies, add sounds and animations, and then export the finished game. No programming required. The main goal is to make game development accessible to people who have ideas but don't know how to code. Basically, I wanted to create a game engine for one specific genre, because apparently creating a normal sized project wasn't difficult enough for me. I started with a completely new Godot project. At first, Clicker Game Maker was barely an engine. It was basically a collection of text fields and buttons. You could change the name of your game and select image. And it's all. But I need somewhere to start. The first important system was the project configuration. Every settings created inside the editor had to be saved and later transferred into the exported game. That sounds simple, but it wasn't simple. Next comes the most important part of any clicker game: the thing you click. Users can select their own image, change its size and position, add a click sound, and choose an animation. I started with a basic scale animation. Every time the player clicks the object, it became slightly smaller and returned to its original size. A tiny feature, but without it, clicking felt completely lifeless. Then I added particles because apparently the solution to every boring interaction is to throw small images around the screen. Users can customize the particle texture, amount, and behavior. Now every click actually feels like something happened. After that, I created a currency system and progression. The user can choose the currency name and icon. Click power controls how much currency each click gives, and passive income generates currency automatically every second. Now the player could buy upgrades, which is basically the entire clicker gen. But shops alone weren't enough, so I added levels. Each level can have its own main clickable object. This means the player can start in one location and gradually unlock new areas. Maybe the first level is small lemonade stand, the second is restaurant, and the final level is completely normal interplanetary lemonade comparison. User can create as many levels as they need. Then came the most difficult part: exporting. I wanted users to create a project once and release it on multiple platforms. So, Clicker Game Maker can export games for Windows, Android, and web. Windows was the easiest, and by the easiest I mean it only broke several times. Web export required a different file structure and additional loading settings. But Android was on another level. HDK version, boot tools, granted permissions, signing templates. Every time I fixed one error, another error appeared with a longer and more scary name. I also wanted people to have a way to monetize the games they create, so I started integrating Google AdMob. Users can enter their own advertisement IDs and enable different ad types. The most important option is rewarded advertising. For example, the player can watch an ad to receive extra currency or multiply their reward. I also added interstitial advertisement settings. Another small problem was autoclickers. So I added optional autoclick protection. The creator can set the maximum number of clicks allowed per second. At this point, I decided Click Game Maker was large enough to become a real product, so I created a Steam page, and eventually it was improved. Seeing Click Game Maker on Steam for the first time felt completely unreal. It's still coming soon, but people can already add it to their wish list. So, after month of development, Clicker Maker can now create projects, customize Clicker, build shops, add upgrades, create levels, generate passive income, integrate advertisement, and export game for Android, Windows, and web. There's still many things I want to improve. But for now, I'm honestly just happy that the project works. So I think that's progress. If you enjoyed this video, you can like, subscribe and add Clicker Game Maker to your Steam wishlist. The link is in the description. And wishlisting really helps the project become more visible. Thanks for watching and have a great week.